a sacred place for women where restoration meets ambition. We're diving into unspeakable stories of healing, strategies, and soul work. How can we hustle if our hearts aren't whole? Let's go, girls. Welcome to Heal, Hustle, Repeat, a podcast where women come together to heal and create the lives that they deserve. We are in for a treat, you guys. Today with us, we have Beth, a singer, songwriter, actress, one of the most beautiful women on the outside, but even more on the inside, which you're going to hear about today. So Beth, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I know, me too. We found each other on Instagram. I don't know who found who. It always happens like that. And here we are.
I think I found you. I think it was one of your posts, your content is amazing anyway, because it's really raw and vulnerable. And so I think I'd come across a post and I just connected with it. And I thought, and you see so much content and you're kind of skipping through. And I saw the post that you'd put and it just made me want to delve deeper. So then I clicked on your account and I was like, I love this woman.
Thank you, because I feel the same about you. And when I had noticed, I'm like, who's this? And then I clicked on it and I'm like, this woman is it. Like, she's it. And honestly, just before we had even connected, just by watching your videos, your pictures, I go, we get each other. We've never said a word to each other in our lives.
Isn't it crazy?
I get this woman.
Same.
I get her. And I was so inspired just by like you obviously being an artist too, which we just spoken about. You're traveling, you're acting, you're booking gigs, you're doing shows, you're doing all these amazing things. And I saw you and I go, she's going for it. She's going for her dream. She's living out her talents. And I'm like, I cannot wait to learn from her. She's going to be my new friend.
Yes.
And honestly, every time you speak too, because I didn't know where you were from originally. And then we started doing voice notes and I could hear your voice. And I was like, oh my God, I just want to talk like this all day. Like her. Oh my God, I might have to do the whole episode like this.
That's actually pretty good, you know.
Was it?
I'm impressed.
You said something in a voice note a couple days ago and you said, ooh, lush. And I was like, what does that mean? I love it.
Did you Google it?
No, should I?
Okay, no. So lush is it's because I'm from the UK, but I'm from Wales, and it's a word that only the Welsh use. So lush means it's like a mixture between all of the delicious things and the gorgeous things. It's just lush, like luscious. Like we use it all the time. And people will say, what is that? And I don't even realize, I just forget. And I'm like, that is so lush. So that's it.
Okay, I'm so glad, because I was like, I don't know what that means, but I'm going to start using it.
Yeah.
I have to teach everybody here, but we just don't sound as majestic when we say it.
I think it's just like, it's such a descriptive word. Like I just think it just, even if you don't get it, you know, it's a good word. You're like, that means something delicious.
Lush. Ooh, lush. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. So many questions and we're going to get into it. But what we're talking about today is healing the artist within.
Yes.
And I thought that was such a beautiful topic to kind of bring together both of us as creative people. It's in our blood to create whatever it is. And there's so many women out there that have those same dreams and talents, but they're healing. We're healing. Yeah. We are all women, doesn't matter where we're from, across the world, and we get each other. So that's what we're talking about, healing the artist within. And I want to ask you, who is the Beth today? What season of life are you in now?
I would say the me today is free spirit, authentic, and I would say sensitivity is something that I kind of live in every day, but get more and more comfortable with the vulnerability of it. And I think the season that I'm in now is all about me. I keep telling my friends say it, they're like, you're just in your Samantha Jones era. Because I think from years of, and I think it's not just me, I mean, it's a very common it's a very common feeling throughout just with women, is
Yeah.
that we want to please others and we nurture others and we put others first. And especially when you're a mother, I'm not a mother, and I just think it's just a natural that you just give and give and give and pour outwards to other people. And
Mhm.
we so often completely and utterly neglect ourselves. And I think women are just so magical. I mean, we create life. We're so intuitive. And I think often we're consumed rather than kind of seen and heard and respected. And everybody wants that, you know, and I think we can kind of get really drained. And for me, it's just like I'm a recovering people pleaser. So now it's just
Yes.
all about me.
Yes. Yes, and doesn't it feel good to say that, and it
Yeah.
doesn't feel selfish, and it doesn't feel guilty at
No.
all. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
It's so nice, and I genuinely, when I started to kind of choose that and go, "This is where I'm going now. This is," I'm just even I just said, "Just give yourself a year of being selfish and just obviously think about others, but just making it about just pouring into you and prioritizing yourself." And the changes and the shifts that I saw happening, and I thought, "Well, no wonder people around me were feeling amazing. I mean, I feel great now." It's
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's crazy the changes that you see once you start to prioritize your needs and
Mhm.
what you want and what's good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said, when we were speaking, you said that you were a shell of yourself for a few years. And so I'm
Mhm.
kind of thinking as you're sharing this transformation that you've gone through and
Yeah.
how you're totally a different woman, when you were a shell of yourself,
Mhm.
what happened?
Do you know, it's such a long it was such a long journey. I think it's an amalgamation of all of the career that I'm in, the music industries, you know, it's I think it's
Mhm.
changing now, but for many, many years, you know, very, very male dominated. And before the whole Me Too movement and everything, you know, it
Mhm.
wasn't it could be quite a scary place. You weren't very protected as a woman, especially a female solo musician.
Yeah.
Um and you just would, you know, keep quiet about it and you
Mm,
just be normal. It'd be normal to be working with
mm,
a producer and you walk by and he just slaps your bum and all this and, you know, all the other
yeah.
men are mocking or what, and it's horrible. So I think it's a mix of kind of being worn down in my career with situations like that. And
Mhm.
then I was I found myself in a relationship, and I haven't really spoken publicly about it, and I kind of I obviously want to tread
Mhm.
carefully, but I think I just
Yeah.
found myself in a situation where the environment was no longer serving me,
Mhm.
and I didn't like who I was, and I didn't
Yeah.
recognize myself, and I was just disappearing, and I felt
Yeah.
like yeah, and I think because I was no longer being true to myself, and it became this like very kind of internal battle daily that I was
Mhm.
making myself super, super, super small to please other people.
Mhm.
And by doing that, obviously, you then go down a path of depression because
Yeah.
you're not being true to yourself. You're not authentic. You're not living in your own kind of body and your own kind of mind.
Yeah.
And you're tiptoeing around and yeah, I just lost myself. And
Yeah.
I think what it did do was it opened up a whole bag of things of, well, why did I allow that to happen? Why did I do that?
Mhm.
Why did I make myself small? Why was I kind of disappearing? And you know, it's
Mhm.
interesting because everybody on the outside would have no idea and wouldn't paint me in that light, and they'd think, no, you'd never. And it's crazy, but I do. And I think, well, why did I do that? And I think it comes from, you know, years of not feeling good enough, of the career that I've chosen. There's a lot of rejection. Sometimes I
Yeah.
can go through a couple of months where I have rejection every week. And
Mhm.
I say, you know, don't take it personal, but what we do is art and it's part of us. So it is personal. Um, and so I think it's that as well. But I kind of got to a point where I was just, yeah, I just disappeared. I kind of left. And it
Mhm.
was heartbreaking, I know, for people that were around me because that's
Yeah.
not me.
Sure.
that's not me at all. That's not how the person that they grew up with. And so, but I couldn't
Yes.
do anything about it. I think, unfortunately, and I thought about this earlier because
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, and I thought
Mhm.
I actually wouldn't wish like depression and anxiety on my worst enemy. I
Yeah.
think that it's horrible because you lose all like life that you have in you, and
Yeah.
so difficult to get out of it sometimes when you're
Mhm.
in it. Um, but I always think that life is just a constant book that we're just turning the
Yeah.
page and we're
Yeah.
reaching a new chapter, and then we get to look back. And I think that everything teaches us something. And I love the idea of
Mhm.
growth and progression. And actually,
Yeah.
had I not gone through that, there's absolutely no way I would be now the woman that I am, and the way that I think, and the way that view myself. And that's also because I, I'm British, so everybody's like, it's not a big thing or something that you talk about therapy.
Mhm.
But luckily, I have a lot of creative friends. All my friends are in the industry, so we're way
Good.
more open and in touch with our
Yeah.
feelings. And I got to a point where I thought, well, I've tried everything, and I'm at my lowest of lows. And
Yeah.
I'm now like, I don't even recognize myself when I wake up in the morning. And my
Mhm.
friend, please just try cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yes. Mhm.
And I was thinking, oh, I don't know, like I'm so, I really know myself. What's somebody else going to tell me? But I thought, well, it's the last kind of option. And it was someone that she'd worked with and she trusted. And she said, she was amazing. So I felt
Wow.
safe. And she just helped just completely change my life. Um,
Wow.
yeah. And it started off, I
Yeah.
think back now and I think, oh, it started off, it was the winter and I'd turn up on her couch every Monday, just a shell of myself,
Yeah.
quiet, crying all the time because it was unlocking all of this stuff.
Mhm.
Just kind of, it just slowly but surely, the shift, and I started to come back to myself, but also a whole new different woman. Um,
Yeah.
and funnily enough, she's amazing, and she actually, I haven't seen her for, I don't know, 7 months, and she actually messaged me out of the blue. She sometimes messages me. She just says, "Just checking
Oh.
in, just everything's fine." I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing great." She's
Oh.
like, "I always knew you would be fine."
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
that is so beautiful. And you just said so many things. Let me ask you really quick, that whole dark season
yeah.
with industry, relationship, all of it, just all of it. How
Mhm.
long, like, was it months? Was it years? How long did you lose yourself for?
I would say 2 years. I would say,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the like the worst of it was probably a year when it
Wow.
was, yeah, like I was just a whole different person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, in the grand scheme, it was a good 2 years where I was suffering massively with depression,
Hmm.
but I would say that I was suffering with like real chronic anxiety for about 6 years.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I would like dip in and out of having sort of periods where I would feel really down and low and
Hmm.
depressed, but there was nothing like those kind of last 2 years of it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Wow. I just, oh,
mm,
sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, and I
Ah.
think, yeah, I think that moment where, because I thought at times I thought, surely, that was my lowest of lows. But then when I was in that moment, I thought, oh no, no, we can get lower.
It goes
It's getting
deeper.
darker. Yeah. I was like, oh
Yes.
no, we're not finished yet. So
Ah.
yeah, it was crazy. But it was that moment where, I mean, this is sharing a lot, and it is very intense, but I'm really at peace with it now. But I think
Hmm.
there was a whole month where I was really suicidal,
Hmm.
and that is what pushed me to go, "Do you know what? I don't wanna be here anymore. I'm fighting the urge to just call it a day." But I owe it to, I think it was my mum. Like, I was like, if I do this, she's not gonna
Hmm.
be able to live afterwards." And there was a point where I resented her because I was thinking, "Ah, I'm sticking around for you."
You're the reason. I know.
So selfish.
I
I just
know.
wanna go.
I know.
But I think there was a moment where I thought, right, okay, just try one more thing.
Yeah.
Just try and get actual professional help and just fight for your right to be here and fight for your life and fight for your happiness. And
Yeah.
I said to myself, I'll give it 6 months. And I'm
Wow.
so glad I did because my life has completely turned around. Um, and so I would always say to anybody that is in that moment where they think, I can't, I can't be here anymore.
Mhm.
Please just, just fight through through the next day because
Yeah.
everything changes. And like I said, it's like your life's a book. Chapter 8 is going to be so different to chapter 2, and it's
Mhm.
exciting and life is amazing. And unfortunately, we're human and
Yeah.
things can be heavy and we're complex creatures.
Yes.
Which is why I think we need to talk about it more because part of the reason is you feel isolated because you think there's something wrong with you because you think everyone else seems happy and fine and normal,
Mhm.
but we're all kind of going through the same things.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm, first of all, so grateful for everything you just shared. Your openness and your confidence in what you're sharing, which is
Mm.
not easy
No.
to talk about. And, but here you are. And I'm so grateful because I relate very deeply to a lot of things you just said. And
Mm,
it's so tricky too, I think, because people can look at women who they think have it all.
yeah.
She's beautiful. She's an artist. She's this, she's that. But let me ask you too, like, how someone could look at you from the outside in, which is what you said.
Hmm.
But how did you start to see yourself, like, through the therapy and all of that, which is so life-changing,
Yeah.
CBT? You're
Yeah.
speaking my language. I
Yeah.
love it. I know. And so how did you start to see yourself and be confident again
Mhm.
as yourself?
Yeah, I think so I've learned to understand that there's a difference between confidence and self-esteem
Mm,
because and also I'm an artist, so my main thing, I perform and I create, and so people always think that if you're a performer and you're creative, that you've got it. It means you've got to be confident, but that's not the case. It's like
mhm.
this is my purpose and this is how I connect. So I've got to do what I've got to do. But actually, in other areas, I'm very much an introvert.
Mhm.
It's just in those areas for me. It's just what I do. But people
Yeah.
always assume, oh, she must be so confident and she's not nervous or shy. And to an extent, yes.
Mhm.
But I think I think that's more coming from a place of I like I love the world and I love expression. I love
Mhm.
self-expression. I love connection. I love people being vulnerable. I love laughing, dancing, food. I just
Yeah.
I love life. And so I think it's that. And again, people will think, oh, so confident. And I guess, yes, I would, I wouldn't ever find myself in situations where I would allow myself to be like really disrespected or situations like that, which I guess you could say, oh, it's obviously because you've got self worth and confidence. But when it
Mhm.
comes to self esteem, I really struggled my whole life.
Mhm.
I had
Mhm.
very, very low self esteem, which is why I would find myself in these loops and these
Mhm.
patterns of proving myself, of bending and twisting to please other people and just neglecting myself time and time again. And I think also with my career, like I would put myself out there, but not 100% because I had this
Yeah.
psychological thing of, well, if I just give it, 60% effort and it doesn't go my way, I can just say, well, I didn't really try, so it's not me. And it was this
Mm.
weird thing. And again, it's just
Yeah.
low self-esteem because you don't believe you can.
Mhm.
And you just have this fear of rejection on a whole big different level. And I think it was that. It was also a point where I was depressed because I was like, I feel like I've got so much potential and I've wasted so much time on low self-esteem. And I've
Oh, yeah.
wasted so much time on staying small to make other people feel comfortable.
Mhm.
And this is my life I'm talking about. I don't get a second chance. I don't get a
Mm.
rerun. And I was getting angry at myself. And I was thinking, oh my God, like time is flying. The years go by so quickly. And
Yeah.
I'm just wasting it on what? Like oh, I'm not good enough. Who
Mhm.
cares? And so I got to a point where I was like, okay, well, what are the things that are holding me back? And again, it was going to therapy. It was
Mhm.
I always struggled with in a room with other women
Mhm.
because many a times I've been in a lot of situations where women will think that I am really confident, that I think
Mhm.
I must have it all,
Yeah.
and they will make a beeline for me and they will tear
Mhm.
me down. They will make passive
Mm.
aggressive digs, criticize, mock me.
Mm.
And I'm sensitive and, I don't
Yeah.
like conflict. So I would laugh it off. Or, there's
Mhm.
been so many times where I would turn up to a meeting and I would have an outfit on that I felt great in.
Mhm.
And they would have to make a comment. They would have to say, if I wore boots, they'd have to say, "Oh God, here she comes, looks like a common prostitute," in front of
Mhm.
everyone at the meeting, and things like
Wow.
this. And, and
Maybe.
I would just wear boring, basic clothes because I just think I don't want to draw attention to myself. And
Yeah.
it is, why don't you want to draw attention to yourself? Because I can't face the conflict. Well, why? And I was
Mhm.
getting myself in a loop. And what I was doing is I was keeping my circle really small to avoid any kind of danger zones. And
Mhm.
then I would be on high alert. So my anxiety was through the roof. So if I would be in a situation, I'd think, oh, there's a load of women, I would automatically be assuming that one of them is going to be horrible to me. So I'd think,
Mhm.
oh, here we go. And to be honest, yeah, 9 times out of 10, it would be. But I
Mhm.
think, is that because I would already have that energy about me?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I made a list of things that I wasn't okay with, of how I was showing up for myself. And
Mhm.
one of them was, you know, I would feel uncomfortable disagreeing with someone.
Mhm.
The other one was I wouldn't wear what I wanted to wear every day. And so they're kind of they're small things, but in the grand scheme of things,
But
they're
big.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing was giving something or giving everything 100% effort. And so I wrote a list. I think there was like 5. And I wrote the
Mhm.
past version of me and the future version of me, how I would want to act and show up every day. And I would just look at that
Yeah.
every day. And I started to make choices that would kind of tell my brain, oh look, it's a different outcome because you've acted
Yeah.
differently. And
Yeah.
so one of the big moments for me was I was singing at an award ceremony. And so I got invited to sing at this award ceremony. The room was mostly women. And I thought, okay, now's my chance. I'm going to do
Mhm.
something for me that is like going to make me feel horrendous because I'll think, like, 1, all eyes are on me. 2, I'm probably going to get called names. 3,
Mhm.
someone's going to try and tear me down. So I wore this outrageous dress
Mhm.
where it was kind of see through.
Mhm.
And I just had like some black underwear underneath and
Yeah.
some whole bum and everything. And I
Mhm.
was like, right, no, we're just going in strong. We're going to go to the extreme.
Yes.
Um, and I did the show, and do you know what? I was just met with amazing women, amazing like support and
Wow.
energy. People were calling me a queen. People were asking me for my workout sessions and programs.
I
Mm,
bet they were.
Yeah,
You looked good.
I was just met with lushness.
Yeah.
The women were just lush, and I had nobody criticizing me. I had nobody mocking me. I had nobody trying to make me feel insecure.
Mm.
And so that was step one.
Wow.
And I was
Yeah.
like, see, like if you just show up differently and you make different choices and the outcome is different, then you can tell your brain that you're safe to just be authentic and be yourself. And
Right.
so, and that's kind of what started it. And then I realized, confidence and a good level of self esteem comes from doing the uncomfortable and going through it and coming
Mhm.
out the other end. Because confidence
Mhm.
isn't just given to you. Confidence doesn't just come because you read a book about it or you constantly
Yeah.
listen to YouTube things. It's
Right.
by having courage, doing scary things, and coming out the other end, and coping with stuff that you thought you wouldn't be able to, and just kind of feeling the fear and doing it anyway, and then realizing you're capable, and slowly but surely your confidence, your self-esteem, it just grows. And I think
Wow.
we all need to have more confidence in ourselves because we make the right choices.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just wish I could have, like, been there for that moment because I'm sure that's such a special memory.
Yeah, it
Like
was
you said, it was a turning point for
yeah,
you because you started showing up differently, and there's so much beauty in what you just shared because I think as women, we do that, and sometimes we're tempted to fall back into it, but we do that. We compare,
yeah,
especially in the world we live in today, scrolling, we're
yeah,
bombarded with just everything, every second. I really don't think as humans we were designed to live like this, with constant
yeah,
comparison and other people and especially with women, and it's so sad, like, when I look back, I feel like it has changed a lot. You said specifically the industry's changed a lot, but
mhm.
I think there's been more of a wave of women supporting women, and I think the
Yeah,
Me Too movement and everything
yeah.
even going on right now with, like, the Epstein files and survivors, there are movements of women coming forward and supporting each other, which I think is so beautiful, but at the end of the day, I think human nature, we still do that. We compare.
I think it's got a lot to do with yeah, I think it's hardwired in our DNA to because, men have a whole different kind of thing they're dealing with, but I think women, beauty is a huge thing of whether or not we're of value. And I
Mhm.
think it comes from, caveman times where it's like,
Yeah.
I think so we tie ourselves to beauty standards and then we
Mhm.
get pitted against each other. And I also think that I think because what I've realized is like during my sort of healing period, I
Mhm.
realized that like women, when they're together, are just unstoppable. They
Yeah.
are insane. Like the
Yeah.
power, the fire, the magic when women are a group and together,
Mhm.
it is like honestly, it gives me goosebumps. Like I just we're just amazing. Like we have so many different dynamics to us and layers and
Mhm.
like the world just wouldn't be able to thrive like it does without women. And I think that
Yeah.
maybe there's a part of it's easier to kind of have women in competition with each other because then
Mhm.
we're all kind of insecure and we're not really stepping into our power because
Mhm.
women are just insane. I mean, we're amazing.
Yeah.
And so I think as a part of that, and I think there's been a real movement as well. It's not cool to be a mean girl, like it's not.
Yeah.
And I think there was a period where it was kind of you could get away with it, whereas
Yeah.
now they call you out on it. If I
Yeah.
hear someone saying something, I always hear someone else going, "Well, that's not cool. Why are you judging her? Like she's
Mhm.
living her life." Oh, yeah, and then it's
Yep.
embarrassing, and I think good.
Mhm.
Um, I just think like, yeah, it's that mean girl energy. This still does exist, but now I just see it for what it is, and I just see, oh, like that poor woman, like she's living a shit life, and she's not
Right.
fulfilling any of her dreams. She's unhappy,
Mhm. Yep.
and she needs to get happy. Like that's
Yeah, good luck. I'll
that's
be here if you want a friend, but in the
yeah,
meantime, I'm not entertaining that energy
yeah,
at all. And you talked about like a lot of like self-protection and
mm,
self-preservation. Like I relate so much to that. I'm going to give 60%, 70, or even 99, but there's still a part of our hearts that we hold
yeah,
back out of fear.
yeah,
So like now that cuz when I see you now, I'm like I can't even imagine you with some of the things that you've shared so vulnerably. I'm like I can't even imagine, but I relate to it. I get it.
yeah.
So, how has all of your healing and all the work that you've put in and the things you now just that list,
Mhm.
old me, future me, I feel like now you're living on the other side of the list, you know? So
Yeah.
how has all of that changed just your artistry, just you as a person too?
It's changed everything. Honestly, every area of my life, the people that are in it, my friends, I mean, my friends, honestly, I think I
Mm,
feel like I have a real army around me.
mhm,
And I think that or when I describe it to some people, I say, when I started therapy and I was going through it,
mhm,
it got harder before it got better.
mhm.
Because you're stripped of all of the self-protection that you've been carrying, and because really you've been in survival mode, so it leaves you, and you're so incredibly vulnerable and so incredibly fragile,
Yeah.
and I genuinely
Mhm,
feel like at that point, my friends were just like armor around me whilst I was in the thick of it,
mhm,
um, and I it was amazing. And I think also from someone who always felt very lonely, and I was like the lonely kid in school, and would eat my breakfast, my lunch in the toilet cubicles sometimes. Like, so we
Mm.
reached that moment when I'm like, What? Like, I'm not on my own at all. Like, look at the
Mhm.
amazing friendships that I have and how
Yeah.
they are my ride or dies. Like, and I have so many of them, and I trust them in my life and my family and everything. And I I honestly feel like now it's I'm just stepping into a complete different version of myself. Don't get me wrong, I still battle with that old version.
Mhm.
But I'm just aware and I go, "No, remember we're doing this now. We're not That's not us." And it's just I have proof. I have proof now that it works because
Yeah.
I've had opportunities come to me. I've doors have opened up that, I've never experienced before. The way people are treating me, the way I'm speaking to people, the life that I'm building, the level of respect that people have for me, how I genuinely can sit here today and say, I don't have anything but love in my life and joy. And
Yeah.
even though life is stressful, nothing goes your way sometimes, and there's always going to be something that is like a huge obstacle and a challenge and hardship.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
just feel like I've got the tools to be able to get through it. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's just massively transformed me as an artist as well. Like, I'm really brave. And
Yeah.
every day that I make the choice to do it, because there's a
Yeah.
part of me that wants to stay small because it's safe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think, no, I want the whole loaf, not just a slice of the bread. So
Mhm.
need to go large. Um, and I also realized that it doesn't matter what, like, people will always have something to say about you. When you're
Yeah.
going for things, when you're putting yourself out there, when you're expressive, when you're living your life, when you're open, people will be intimidated by it because
Mhm.
everybody really deep down wishes that they could have that level of kind of free spirit, audacity, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they will kind of try and bring you down. But now it's like water off a duck's back. Like, and I use social media as well for it because I never
Yeah.
used to post certain things because I used to think I don't want to be met with criticism and people can be really nasty and say awful things. And my friend said,
Mhm.
"So what? Like, post it. Like, we've got one life. Like, take a
Yeah.
picture of this, da, da, da." And I have been met with horrific things, but
Right.
I read it
Mhm.
and my stomach goes over and I think, and then I take a moment and I think, no, and I rationalize
Yeah.
and I laugh. And I think, "Oh,
Yes.
hilarious. Okay." And I comment.
Yes.
I'm like that. That's great. Thank you. You
Yeah.
engaging with the algorithm.
Yes. I know. Okay, at one point, I love what you're saying because I'm like, do you have anything else to do with your day today? Like,
Yeah.
why? But also too, once I discovered um virality online, I didn't when I first started my page, I wasn't trying to go viral. I was just like, whatever, let me start what I'm doing here. And I was not prepared. And I remember my first video that
Yeah.
went viral,
It's
I was
horrible.
not prepared.
Sweaty.
And I took it down a couple times because I
Yeah.
just couldn't open it. I opened up my phone to hatred. And I'm
Yeah.
like, ugh. But then I put that thing back up, I unarchived it, and I was like, carry on, people, carry on. Because you know
Yeah.
what? Like you said, water off a duck's back. You're just, unfortunately, your hatred and deep insecurity and rage towards whatever I'm doing
Yeah.
as a complete stranger, it's just a reflection of how you feel about yourself. If this
Absolutely.
is how you treat a stranger, like imagine how you treat your family or your
Yeah.
friends and it's sad.
Yeah, I always think that because
For
I think,
them.
if because you have to look at yourself and think, my life's full and I'm working on these things and the way I think. Would you ever take the time to put something nasty or negative on
Mhm.
someone's post or write
Mhm.
something? You wouldn't, because you're secure, you're
Yeah.
happy, you're content.
Yeah.
And I just think, that's what I go back to. Whereas before I would just really take it personal.
Yeah. Mhm.
But now, but it's true, that first kind of moment where you get catapulted onto a platform.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously
Yeah.
then if the more eyes that are on you, the more heat you're gonna get and the more
Mm-hmm.
there's a mix. And it is
Yeah.
horrible the first time you experience it. But
Yeah.
it gets, doesn't it? It just gets easier. You can just go,
Mm-hmm.
"Nah."
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it makes us more resilient.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously not in the industry as a musician or even acting where you're going on castings and you're, like you said, constant rejection. I have a lot of
Yeah.
friends that are, and they have, gone through training and therapy to even prepare them for that because you
Yeah.
have to be. And so when I look at you and I'm just like, her resilience is so admirable because it really strengthens our character because then we're unbothered. We're truly unbothered. And I feel like when I see you, when I talk to you, like she is so unapologetically, authentically herself. And I think
I'm
I
so
could feel
pleased.
that through a screen with
I'm
you.
so pleased. Yeah, I can.
Seriously.
Yeah, because that's my goal. That's my goal because I was always apologizing for just existing, and I was
Mm,
always, I was never really taking up space, and I'd always, it was just about keeping myself small and in the shadow. I was like, now I just think, no, I just want to live my life, and
yeah.
I want to feel joy, and I just want to express myself, and I do think,
Hmm.
if I can inspire another woman to just step into her own zone and own it and just show up for herself authentically every day, then I would just feel great. So when
Yeah.
I get messages like that, it's genuinely like it really does fill my cup. Like, I would
Yeah.
rather somebody tell me that than
Hmm.
somebody just be like, "You're hot," or, "Oh, you're so
Yeah.
pretty." Like, no. But when someone's saying like, it's your energy and
Yeah.
your character and things like that,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's amazing because I think
Oh.
I never used to, there was such a period where I was the opposite.
Hmm.
Um, and it's interesting because lots of people said, "Well, I've always seen you like that." I was like, "What?"
Oh.
Yeah, really? But it's just a working progress every day for sure.
It always is. And it's so cool, like you said, like the imagery of a book. And it's so
Mhm.
true. Like one chapter is not going to be the same as the last. And we could finish an entire book and then start a new book. And that's what I love is these
Yeah.
transformations as people. Like you said, we're such
Yeah.
versatile but also sensitive people,
Yeah.
creatures,
Yeah.
creations. Um, but we get to live a new experience as the new version of ourselves. And we wouldn't be who we are today without what we've gone through. And I
No.
think that's the beautiful part is when we can truly have gratitude for all those dark days, you know?
Yeah, I think
Uh,
that's the key as well, isn't it? Is gratitude. Just every
mhm.
day thinking, "Oh, what am I grateful for today?"
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the more you think of gratitude, the more you then look at everything with the glasses, half full. The
Hmm.
more you do that, the more you raise your frequency, and you do attract a lot more when you're just kind
Yes.
of feeling like, it's not like scarcity. You're just thinking, "Oh, my life's so full and things are coming to me." And it's just
Yeah.
the way you carry yourself, the way you are around people, and you just become a magnet, and it
Hmm.
just pours into all other areas. And I noticed that as well, like when I started to just open myself up,
Hmm.
the new people that were coming into my life, the people I was speaking to, whereas before, like when I was going through those heavy 2 years, I was like everything, I was so closed off, and therefore
Hmm.
my world was closed off, and my work and opportunities, it all felt very dry. And then
Yeah.
soon as I started to just open myself up and concentrate on myself and just kind of practice things like gratitude, yeah, just everything started to open up and
Yeah.
feel really full, which was
Yeah.
the best
So
feeling.
beautiful. Oh, and do you find it like a different experience now? I mean, I would imagine the answer is yes, but to get your perspective on it, for the women listening that have big dreams, but they're like, how? How, when is this going to happen? For the women listening that have big dreams, How do you personally keep your faith and confidence in your own vision and goals when no one else around you gets it?
Yeah. So what I would say is it is your environment is so important.
Mhm.
And so if there are people around you that even for a second make you doubt yourself, you can't
Mhm.
be around them. If you're aiming for big things, if you're trying to achieve things, if you're chasing dreams, they can't be in your vicinity. They just can't. Is that to
Yeah.
me is like cut and go.
Yeah.
And because in the moments where you are doubting yourself, you know that your environment is there to go, girl, get a grip. Absolutely not. Like, you're the shit. And that's
Mhm.
what you need. But I
Yeah.
also would say,
Mhm.
for me, it's taken away the idea of a timeline. And so I think as women, again, timeline is just hardwired into us. We
Yeah.
think we've got we think we've got a small tiny window of fertility. We think we've got an expiry date for our beauty. And
Mm.
that's all we're ever taught. And I think it's a
Mhm.
lie. And I
Yeah.
think the more that we go against that, the more it's going to change everybody's perspective on it. And I think that sometimes when we automatically always think with a timeline in place. And
Mhm.
I think it's a bad idea because
Yeah.
women tend to think if I haven't done it by then it's never going to happen for me. If I haven't taken this route, then I should probably give up on it. And I just think the moment I took a timeline away and I was like, these are my dreams. This is what I
Mhm.
really want to do. And as long as I show up every day for it, and as long as I stay in a place where I can still do it every day, that to me is success. It's not
Mhm.
it's not measured on the kind of house you got, the kind of car you drive, the kind of amount of money in your bank account. I don't that to me is not how I measure success. Success to
Mhm.
me is being able to do what you love every single day. And so I think it's putting things in place that allow you the freedom to do that, especially when you're still chasing certain dreams or you're just starting out with them. So I
Mhm.
think it's just not putting too much pressure on is this or that. So,
Yeah.
just having the ability to dance around in it every day is the key.
Oh, I love it. And you say dance around, and some people, I'm not a trained dancer, but I will literally sometimes I put my headphones on in my house. My kids are screaming and they're bugging me. And I'm like, I need a break. I'll put my headphones and I just dance.
Yeah.
I just dance. Like truly, you said it as like a metaphor, but I'm like, that actually works.
Yeah.
It
Because
just,
it's 'cause it's movement and you're moving through
yeah,
it and you're just moving, and that's what I mean, it's like, as long as you're moving towards your dreams every day, even if it's 2% that day or you're
yeah,
just moving, you're constantly moving, and I think
yeah,
that's where we go, "Oh, yeah, pat on the back," like, "That's brilliant." But I also think, yeah, dancing to me, like, I'd stopped dancing for, like,
yeah.
3 years, and then I
Mm.
started again, and I dance every day, but I'm one of those weirdos that dances in the street. I dance at
Yes.
the supermarket when I'm picking my groceries. I don't care. I put on,
Yeah.
like, Respect by Aretha Franklin, I'm like and
Yeah.
it's just, like, it's so good, and I honestly like, it's just I think that to me is better than any type of medicine, is dancing. So much so that me and a couple of my friends, we made a little pact to go out once a week just to dance for an hour. So wherever we are, whatever we're doing, we
I
will
love
meet
that.
in this club where we know the music's great, and we
Uh-huh.
don't even drink. We don't drink alcohol. We
Yeah.
just walk up. We don't even sometimes, like, put anything nice on. We're just, like, jean shorts and
Yeah.
shirt and trainers. We go in, we literally look at the time, we go, "An hour." We dance crazy, and then we just get in the car and we drop each other off, "Bye," and we go home, make our dinner. My other friend, she has 2 little kids, puts the kids to bed. We're in bed by 10. And I just think it's because it's just dancing. It's just and it honestly boosts our mood. Like, the adrenaline's through the roof on the car drive home. It's just
I love that. That I was like, you've given so many good practicals today.
Yeah.
That is the most fun one.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, we're not drinking. We don't care what we look like. We're not there to socialize with other
No.
people or even with each other.
No,
You're
we don't
just
even talk
doing
to each
it
other.
together.
No. We're just like, "That next tune, what?" Like, it's
Yes.
just so fun. Yeah.
How long have you guys been doing that for?
A few months now.
Oh,
It's
I
just
love it.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what would you tell the woman who maybe doesn't have a social circle like that, or maybe her life isn't set up
Yeah.
to where she could do something like that? But what's one bit of advice that you would tell the woman listening who's just honestly healing her own self, whether she's an
Mhm.
artist or not? But what would you tell that woman who's healing the artist within?
I would say to tap into vulnerability. And I think, well, for me, vulnerability has always been something that I've been really scared of. And
Hmm.
the moment I would feel vulnerable, I would shut down or I would be quite cold or, because I didn't want to show that. But at the end of the day, I think as artists, as creatives, and as women, we are super sensitive. We're empaths.
Hmm.
So we feel things. We feel shifts in energy, mood, tone.
Yeah.
We can cry with other people and we've we can take on their pain, their joy. And I actually think it's an amazing superpower to have. But
Hmm.
because some people can abuse it, you end up having this fear. But I think vulnerability is one that you need to
Hmm.
be comfortable with and just practice it every day, whether that's standing
Yeah.
up for yourself, asking for what you want, saying no to things, and just
Hmm.
saying how you feel. These are all things that really feed into your soul. And I would also say if you're in if you're in between the zone of the transitioning period of like the old you and the new you, which is the toughest part, I would say to have compassion for the old version of you
Mm.
because everything she did was to protect you and you wouldn't be here without that version of you that was just having to be that version for survival mode. And
Mhm.
so it's also about just making peace with the old version of you, having compassion, and then rather than going, forget that,
Mm.
that person existed. No, because you're two of the same. And I think if you can find peace with it and then you link it up, because I always think as well
Mhm.
that it's more about that's the little girl version of you. And
Yes.
then at some point, if you're lucky enough, you become an adult. And what I mean by that is the little girl kind of leaves you and you
Mhm.
can be 60, 70, 80 when it happens. But it's more like you're hand holding the little girl throughout life then, whereas before you're kind of
Mhm.
led with it, you'll have like fear of rejection or fear of being abandoned and it's all the little version of you.
Yeah.
And I think it's just,
Mm.
yeah, I think it's just having compassion and being proud that you've got yourself to where you've got to. And then with regards to your art, I think it's all about authenticity. And I think it's getting back to basics of why you do what you do. For me, why I love it because for me connection is my number one, is so
Mhm.
important. I
Mhm.
value connection over anything.
Yeah.
And which is why I used to say I'm more of a one-to-one person because you can really connect then. And
Yeah.
that's why I do what I do because those are the moments where I feel such a connection. When I'm performing, when I'm singing with people, there's nothing like it. You just
Mhm.
feel so connected, and it's the best feeling. And I think connection is what makes us human.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think remember, why you started, go back to basics and just constantly every day step into the most authentic version of yourself and you can't go wrong.
Ugh, so when's your book coming out? Are you gonna write because I think we should do that, put that on the list. Oh my gosh. Seriously. Oh my
Really?
gosh.
Oh, a book, you say?
Woo!
I know. I was like, I need this now. Like, now's the chance.
Is that? No, you just shared the most beautiful, real thing. And that inner child work, I
Hmm.
didn't even know that was a thing until like therapy. Like, that's deep.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that when you think of it like that, you're not, because I think part of it is like you're hard on yourself because if you're sensitive, if you're an empathetic person, you will always look at what you did wrong in every
Hmm.
situation, and you always think of where you failed, and you put it all on you. And
Yeah.
I think the moment you realize that, oh, that was just the little girl version of me that was kind of, I wasn't really protecting, and she was just
Hmm.
free flowing. You also go easy on yourself because it all makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And so I think it's actually a really good practice as well. There's one thing I did actually. Obviously, it's a bit woo woo, like not everybody's going to want to do it, but I
Yeah.
wrote myself a letter to the old
Mm.
version of me,
Yeah.
to more like an understanding.
Mhm.
And I said sorry. I said sorry for not protecting you. I'm sorry I didn't walk out of that situation. I'm sorry I let that happen to you. And it was more, I was just like writing a letter to the little girl version of me. And
Mhm.
I thought, I think about it. Um, yeah, I just think, oh, I should have protected you there. And that was the little girl version of you that was just kind of wanting to be kind of loved, and wanting to be heard. And I should have stood up for you there, and I didn't. And I wrote a letter about it,
Mm.
and I kind of said, thank you for everything that you've did, and the ways that you kind of have got me to this point. And from now on, like, I'm going to be the adult, and I'm going to look after us, and we're going to be fine, and we're going to fly. Like, I've got you. It's fine.
Oh,
Um
that's beautiful.
yeah, and it was just, yeah, it was really cathartic, and it was just a really nice practice. I would really advise that for people that are extremely hard on themselves and always think
Mhm.
that the problem is them in every situation.
Mhm.
Mm, I think it's just, I think compassion is such an important part of it.
So much. And it's so powerful because it's so easy for us to, right, to like have compassion on other people, even
Oh,
on the people
yeah.
that have hurt us.
Yeah.
And we're super forgiving and patient, compassionate with them. But then with ourselves, we're like beating ourselves up. And
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful, empowering thing to really learn that. And you said compassion, vulnerability, so many amazing things. And honestly, just, I don't know, when I see you now, and then even what's going to happen over the next year, 3 years, 5 years, or whatever. I'm coming to the UK, by the way.
Yes.
I've been a few times. It's been a while since I've traveled, but I was like, if I ever go again anytime soon, I have to see you.
Yes.
Um,
Absolutely.
but when I watch you with whatever unfolds with your life, the words you speak are life. And I want to say thank you for that today because I think you've spoken life
Mm.
into everyone listening, including myself. So thank you so much for being here. It's been an
Mm.
honor.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I've loved it.
Of
It's been
course. I
amazing.
know, me too. And so, where can everyone find you? I mean, I want everyone to know who you are because everyone should, and you're amazing. Now they know why. So, where can we find you on social media? Tell us all the things. Give us the links.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple and easy. So it's just BethZienna, literally everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, my website, Google. Yeah,
Love it.
everything's there. So yeah, it's just BethZienna. Sometimes you'll get my surname come up, Williams, but very rarely.
Okay.
Um, Yes, and I have a bunch of new singles coming out over this next few months, which is really exciting. Um,
Mm,
so yeah, I'm super, super excited. I've also just set up a charity. So we kick off in a couple of months with that, which is about just helping children who want to break into the music industry but don't have the means or the abilities,
uh,
and aren't from families that can afford to do that.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's a brand new baby right now, but really passionate about it. And so far, we've just had amazing interest. So
Oh, incredible.
really,
What's the name of it, of the charity?
it's called the Sing It Out Project.
The Sing It Out Project. Okay. And it's based out of the UK where
Yes,
you guys are at.
yes. So it's basic. It's,
Okay.
it's also providing songwriting workshops, because
Wow.
it's mostly centered around the issue of mental health.
Hmm.
So children will get to learn how to write a song. It's going to be talking about sort of self-expression and sort of difficult feelings, and they get to go into a studio, record it, perform it. so they can just get the experience of what it's like to be a musician as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That is beautiful. I told you guys, beautiful on the inside and out. Oh my gosh. And I am just so grateful. For those of you listening, if this is your first time on Heal, Hustle, Repeat, thank you for joining us. Hit the follow button, send it to a woman, a friend, a sister, an aunt, someone that you know is healing and needs some words of life spoken into her. Send her this episode, Beth. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Let's go, girls.
Yeah.
Let's
go.